Yeah, a lot of up and down. I mean, I think the number one thing is you don't build a program in 2 days. Certainly there's some positives that you see. Um, and still we're in that phase with just a couple days where, helmets and you don't have pads on or anything like that. So it's kind of a continuation of the off season in so many ways. Obviously competitiveness goes up and you can do some more things structurally and line up across from guys and some of that stuff. So you start seeing some guys as competitors, which is good. You can't walk through every scenario and every formation and every play and stuff like that. So you gotta go against each other to see some of those things, which give you a million things to coach. From an effort standpoint, I think it's been probably up and down, but by and large, they're trying to give us at least what they think we expect from them. And part of the process now this spring is changing the expectation in terms of what it is that it makes a night football player, and most specifically for us, a night on defense. And so we got a long way to go.
You just hit on that. What are you most trying to accomplish this spring? Is it a little bit more of that latter part?
Yeah, I think one of the big things is just create the expectation from an effort standpoint as well as an execution standpoint. Effort's not extra, and sometimes the situation you find yourselves in, especially with inexperienced football players, if I give great extra, if I give great effort, it's almost like I gave extra credit on that particular play. No, that's the expectation every single snap. And the nice thing with all the things that Coach Frost throws at us offensively, tempo and formations and everything else, it's a great opportunity for the guys to kind of get through some of the junk that messes with your eyes and everything else, and in the end, regardless of what it is, you got to go find the ball and go rally to it. So we got a long way to go to create those things, but it's an okay start.
Which position group on your side of the football are you the most encouraged by, or the most anticipating maybe the biggest growth during the spring?
Yeah, and I think it's too early to tell. I mean, so much of this turns into, what are you without pads on and what are you with pads on, and when you don't have pads on, it's the only thing we have to evaluate. These are the biggest 2 days of 2025, and then very quickly, I don't want to say you dismiss them, but you get fairly dismissive of them once you get the pads on tomorrow morning. So that'll give us a little bit more of an indicator. The big thing is every level of the defense, from a bar standpoint, has to raise it, exponentially higher than what we find ourselves 2 days in, which probably is to be expected. Not just from a new staff, but also just in the transfer portal age, you got a lot of new faces and stuff like that, and so we're not gonna cancel the next 13.
Coach, Richard mentioned working with Coach Frost. How has it been working with him, discussing different game plans, or working against his offense?
Yeah, I think it's an absolute, massive challenge defensively. But there's nothing you don't see. There's nothing you can kind of, cross off and say, well, we're not going to have to handle, this adjustment or this formation or this type of play. It has a variation of just about everything, which as a defensive coach, you got two options. You either say, well, that's a frustration, or you can say, what a great opportunity for us. And so, by and large, I would say through the first 2 days, we've probably seen as much as anybody in the country from an offensive standpoint against us, which is an advantage.
Would you say you guys are feeding off each other's game plans?
I think it's way too early. I mean, this is one of those instances right now where it's the initial install. We got very little in on defense. As much as I think they got a lot in on offense, Coach Frost probably tells you they got very little in on offense as well. So, still early in that regard.
Coach, can you say from that safety position, Demari has been here a little while. I know he was out last year with an injury. You got a lot of transfers in. How's that mix kind of looking like early on? Yeah,
if you asked me yesterday, I would have said I felt pretty good about the position. You unfortunately asked it to me today, and I think we got a long way to go. And I think just from a consistency standpoint, one of the things we talked to the guys about, safety is not a percentage position. There's some positions where if you get it right a large percentage of the time, you're gonna survive. Safety doesn't work that way, and so it's still a wide open competition among that group. A lot of guys haven't played football. And some of the guys have to recognize that and put more work in, and obviously it's my job to get them flying around and get them coached up, which I'm confident we'll get that done. But it's going to take more than 2 days, certainly, to do that.
When you look at your secondary, how would you like them to perform this year? You want them to be more attacking, more physical? Kind of is that your thought process?
You want the combination of speed, and you also want the run and hit component. And one of the phrases that we use is want to be knockdown pieces in the run game. And so an example I would use is, if the offense, kind of goes 1 for 1 in terms of the defensive front, they block it up exactly how they draw it up. there's got to be another piece on that back end to knock it down. It might be a 6-yard gain, might be a 5-yard gain at times. Offense are really good in this day and age, and so but being willing and able and excited to be a knockdown piece of the run game, and then playing top down defensively from a pass game standpoint, and then they don't run you over if they run by you. And so we got, from a discipline standpoint, got to show that as well. We got a lot of guys, and we're throwing a lot of reps on them through the first couple of days, and we'll continue to do so. And then very quickly we got to start winding that down and kind of determine who we're going to work with going into the fall.
You talked about guys not maybe having a lot of reps. You have 2 early enrollees in your defensive backfield. How are they adapting to the college game?
Yeah, I think the one thing that hasn't changed in college football is young guys are young guys, and so the transition from high school to college, again, no disrespect, college to the professional ranks has a major adjustment as well. But there's nothing more extreme than high school to college. It just, the speed, you can get away with the genetic lottery. High school into high school, if you're not where you're supposed to be and stuff like that, you're probably still going to be okay. You'll chase them down, move on. Specifically the defensive back position, they'll probably underthrow it anyway if they run by you. So the details and all those things, and that's specific to those 2 guys. I certainly think they're working. The want-to's there, and time will tell. But from a work ethic standpoint, I've been very pleased with both those guys in terms of what they're putting into it.
How would you describe the process of developing chemistry with your assistants?
Yeah, we hate each other. No, it's getting in the room, and then that's honestly a very good question, and it's part of the process too. Now is making sure that as we attack the practice field, that's I don't say that's the starting point because we had a winter together, and you're in the room, but most of the things you're talking about in the room is theory. Kind of what's the coaching point? How do we want to do this? How do we see this particular technique fundamental? And some of those things, as well as, okay, what's the structure from all 11 guys. But then in the end, it's getting the guys on the field, how we coach the guys, our expectations, making sure that we don't accept excuses from the guys, make sure we're not making excuses for our guys, because the bar doesn't get raised if we do some of those things. But, no, excited to work with the group, and Coach Dawson and I go way back. But I can mention every single one of them. It's been fun to be on the grass with them, and great teachers and guys that coach guys hard, and so no, it's a good group. So excited about it.
Alex, you've got a front line that's got real experience, brings a lot of guys back, Malachi, John, those kind of guys, and you also brought in some talent from the transfer portal. What are you seeing from those guys, leadership-wise, maybe? Trying to having that experience on that group. Yeah, and I think leadership. The time will tell from that standpoint. I think again, when you add a new staff component to it, some new players, a new staff. It kind of evens the playing field a touch, just simply from everybody's learning, as opposed to an otherwise, second year, third year of the program, something like that, same defense, same offense, where, okay, the new guys come in and the older guys, okay, this is how we do things. Well, they're still learning how we do things and some of those things. But in the end, obviously experience, I certainly think they'll draw from that and be, I would say, kind of leadership by example as much as anything at this point.
A couple more?
When you look at today's practice, was there a unit you were happy with? Did any position groups stand out? Any individual players make a play out there? What kind of were the highlights, in your opinion, defensively from today's practice?
Yeah, we were able to get a couple takeaways, I know, and a couple of the drills. I think in other instances, some periods went by where we weren't able to do that. Back end got a couple in some Skelly-type situations, which was good, and that's got to continue. And it's hard to mention most specifically anybody in the front 7, because until we have pads on, we're kind of running around in glorified run-throughs and walk-throughs right now. So tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., we're going to get a better feel for the group.
You mentioned each position being a wide-open competition. What qualities are you looking for from these guys in spring to practice to elevate them to earn that role?
Yeah, I think trust and effort. Guys that we can trust to be where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. And then that effort piece, I just keep going back to it because it's the greatest equalizer in sport. Effort erases mistakes, most mistakes, and it's something that just watching our guys we need to make sure that we spend more time on as a coaching staff. There's a bar that we haven't quite reached yet. I think we're going hard, and we're not quite where we need to be that way. But again, I would say trust and effort, and that's what's fun about having 15 days, and we're going to advantage every single one of them.
Thanks, Alex.
All right, thank y'all.
In this offseason to transfer to UCF.
My past coach at FAU got fired, so I had to make a change. new coaches coming in, you never know who they're gonna bring in, who they're comfortable with. So I didn't feel comfortable and I had to make a change.
So what did you like about UCF? I'm sure you were considering other schools in the transfer portal. What was it that stood out to you about UCF?
Coach Grinch and Coach Frost being committed to the process, recruiting me hard, more than other coaches. Came here my sophomore year after I jumped in the portal, so I was already familiar with the place. I already liked it here. God got to wait for everybody. It wasn't my time then. It's my time now.
How do you approach change and transition and being a part of a new group?
Just not being comfortable with temporary results. That makes sense. Like I said before, being committed to the process. Just taking it day by day.
What did you most like about Coach Grinch and his defensive philosophy that wanted you to come here?
The energy he brings is very gratifying. I can't really ask too much. I can't ask for more out of a coach. And like I said before, we just taking it day by day.
How would you kind of describe yourself as a player? Are you known for a certain style? What would you say are your strengths playing safety?
Just being a ball hawk. Wherever the ball at, I'm there. Tackling, range, whatever the case may be.
You said ball hawk. I think the other day, didn't you have a couple interceptions on the first day?
Yes, sir, two.
Did you have any today?
One.
Okay.
Every day I'm trying to, yes, sir, definitely.
You're trying to make a name for yourself.
Definitely, early.
Is that big for your confidence to start spring camp with those interceptions?
I can't say that because I said in the last question, I said I can't be comfortable with temporary results. I got to be committed to the process.
How much of playing in a conference like the Big 12, being on national TV a lot more, how much is that one appealing part of coming to UCF and getting a chance to maybe showcase yourself on a bigger scale?
I played in the Big 10 my freshman and sophomore year, so I can say I'm comfortable. I'm ready to take on any challenge in the Big 12.
Who's kind of impressed you after the first couple of days of practice, workouts, maybe some guys on defense, I don't know, other safeties? Are there some players that you're eager to see, what they put on the field this fall?
Can I give a few names?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
DJ Bell, corner. My boy over there, Demari. AP. JG, Jaden Gould. Jaden Bellamy. That's all I got off the top right now.
Where do you want to see yourself most grow throughout this spring practice session, spring training?
Most grow. I ain't gonna lie, I don't got an answer for that right now. I ain't gonna lie, I got a few more days I'll probably have an answer, but it's only been 2 days, so I can't really give an exact answer on that question. But as time goes on, I may have something that I need to improve on, and I can elaborate on that.
What are the expectation coaches have set for this spring for you guys?
Energy, main thing. Coming out every day, being focused. Can't come out lollygagging. Can't come out with your head down. Come out ready to work. Come out ready to attack the day. Yeah.
Well, we asked some of the guys the other day about what were the highlights of practice. They mentioned your 2 interceptions the other day. So
Definitely.
in your opinion, looking back at today, what stood out about today's practice? Did you see some of your teammates making plays out there? What kind of stood out to you?
The offense, man, I can't lie. First day we kind of, had the offense on their heels. Today they had us on our heels. So, back and forth battle. It's good to see. When the offense and defense compete like that, that's a very good thing to see early, man. Definitely.
Quarterbacks, receivers, what were they kind of doing that was making it difficult today?
Just testing the defense, testing the secondary, seeing where we at, seeing if we could take the meters to the field, stuff like that.
How excited are you to get pads on for the first time and get a chance maybe to go out there and showcase a little bit more?
Very excited. You got to, hit somebody to feel comfortable rolling into the season or rolling into fall camp. We got to get comfortable with the pads on. If we don't put them on, then how are we going to expect to how we going to expect to be one when the season come? How are we going to expect to play fast when the season come? So yeah, I'm very excited to put these pads on and get to work. Get started.
What are your goals for this year? Obviously, you come in. I know you have starting experience. Is that, I guess, one of the goals to come in and establish yourself as one of the main guys on UCF's defense?
Yes, sir. Definitely come in, separate myself. Main thing, win, and lead this team to a bowl game. Definitely, and maybe more.
What's the process of forming chemistry with guys? A lot of new faces. So
Definitely.
You know one another.
Definitely. One process I am committed to is off the field. Getting a guy or whoever it is, getting with him, watching film with him, going out with him, whatever the case may be, just building that chemistry. So on the field, it's way easier You know, way easier to make a play, way easier to make a check. You know, whatever the case may be.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Hey, Demari.
What's up? What's up?
You had a really good UCF made the debut in the Big 12 in 2023. You had a really good year last year. I know you were banged up a little bit. So how are you now? Are you feeling close to 100% now heading into 2025?
Yeah, I'm feeling way better now going into this year.
Was that tough last year after having such a big year the year before to kind of have to be on the sidelines? Was that a difficult process?
Yeah, it's anytime you love the game, you got to sit out. It's always tough, you know. Just watching the guys out there, you know you want to be out there so bad, but just knowing like it's not gonna go the way you want to is always tough.
How did you approach that from a mental standpoint, not being able to do what you love?
And like, it was kind of hard, but you know I got my brother with me, so every day he's just talking to me. I'm talking to him. You know, you got people around you that just check up on you, like old guys. I'd say like one guy like Clayton Gallagher from the old crew, like check up on you and just have people that talk to you. You gotta just talk. You don't want to sit in the room all day. You get in your thoughts and all that. But like, definitely was a black hole for sure.
And help you stay engaged with the team to have that.
Oh yeah, the guys on the team last year, just being in the locker room, being around the guys, and just the energy around there, it just helped you. Like just get out your room. You feel me? Get out your comfort zone. That'll help you.
How much, when you get a chance to meet Coach Frost and his staff, how much of that was that maybe appealing to what you guys want to try to do this year and to come back and be a part of this again?
It was huge because, you know, we was thinking about hitting the portal, but you don't want to make a decision off emotion. You got to go off logic. So just coming here and just talking to him first, seeing what he's about, it changed our whole mindset.
You were thinking about entering the portal?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And that you talked to him, and that was really kind of
when we got Frost, talked to him, came up here, seen what he was about, seen how many alumni came up in one day. Like, yeah, you knew he was the one.
Was it you and your brother that were thinking about going to the portal, or was it just you?
Yeah, you know the guys. Me and my brother, though, yeah.
You talked about your brother. Obviously, you've both been injured at different parts of your careers. Now you're both healthy for spring. What's it like being back on the field with him?
Man, I feel like I ain't been on the field with him since like high school. So it's just really just like a dream because we always talked about it growing up. But it's like the timing was never right. Either one hurt, other one banged up. So it's like, you know, God got all this. He gonna put you through a path. So it's kind of a blessing.
How's it been speaking with Coach Grinch and building and learning the defensive system, especially along with your brother?
Yeah, Coach Grinch, I like Coach Grinch because he about his business. So it's like he gonna make sure you're on point. And if you don't know it, you don't know it. You gotta speak up, ask questions. Like Grinch about his business, so I pretty much like him.
What do you look to establish most in spring practice? What do you want to build on?
I just want to get my feet back under me. You know, I sat out like a whole year, so it's kind of knocking the rust off right now. But once I get that, I just want to get out my comfort zone, just be more vocal, feel me, help the guys out around me, stuff like that.
Coach Frost talked about.
How is this defense different maybe from last year? Are there some subtle differences, or what are we gonna see on the field this fall?
A lot of running to the ball, effort-based defense. So you run to the ball, you're gonna make plays. So yeah.
Coach Frost talked about kind of like a fresh slate for everyone kind of on this roster. Do you feel that way? I mean, after being hurt last year and everything, kind of get a new start maybe in a sense to.
Oh yeah, I feel that way for like all the guys in the locker room. Just come to work every day, put it in day by day. You know, you only get what you put in. So it's like, yeah, I feel it.
What was the highlight of today's practice?
The highlight? I mean, it's a lot of highlights. I can't really pick one. I know Phil caught a pick, that one that was just up here. He caught a book. I know Zaire Brown, he caught a book too. So, you know, anytime when the defense get a turnover, that's a highlight of our day.
What do you think of Coach Frost?
Coach Frost, man, what you mean? Like, you've been here 2017. You know his history, and you know some of the guys that went to Seminole, they was on his team. So we already know what he about. We watched it growing up, and finally get to be a part of it. It's just special. We trying to do the same thing, probably better.
What does 2017 mean to you?
You know, Brandon Moore and Gabe Davis, we was ball boys from him. You know, Cam Moore, that's his big older brother. We've been ball boys at Seminole all our life. So just watching them do it, and then it's our chance, like we getting a chance to do it now. So it's pretty special. We trying to, you know, match it, even be better, possibly.
What was did they talk to you about when Frost got hired? What was their message to you maybe about that?
I ain't really personally talked to Gabe. I know my brother probably text him, but Bam probably like, yeah, this the guy. Like, this the guy.
A couple more?
What are your goals for this season? Obviously, you're anxious to reestablish yourself as one of UCF's top defensive players. Like, what do you want to accomplish this season?
We just want to win. I ain't gonna lie. When you win, everything come with it. So I just want to win. Whatever I need to do to win, I'm gonna do it.
Being one of the leaders, being one of the returners in this DB room, do you view yourself as one of the leaders? Do you want to emerge as a leader?
that's a goal. But like right now, I'm just I feel like I can't lead a group if I wasn't ready for myself. So I'm just kind of knocking the dust off, trying to fill everybody out because this is a new team, new coach. So I wouldn't say like I'm a leader right now, but like working towards it.
UCF's talked a lot about hometown heroes. What does that mean to you to be a hometown hero?
Well, now it mean like way more because the guys back home they just want to do the same thing you do. Like the younger guys, they need somebody to look up to. So they seeing people like Braden Marshall come out of Lake Mary, Chase Johnson come around to us. So they believe in us, so they can believe in themselves since they see somebody like them doing it. So
You looked up to other guys, and now they look up to you.
yeah, it's crazy.
How did I ask you real quick about Chase Johnson? The guy that you knew went to your high school, to come in as a true freshman and make the kind of impact that he did. I'm sure you weren't surprised about it. Just kind of reflect on what Chasen was able to do out there as a true freshman.
I ain't never surprised about a kid coming from Seminole because, that's what we do down there. So Chase Johnson, I already knew he had it in him. Just need an opportunity. Like all the guys from Seminole need an opportunity. Once you put them on the field, you're going to see what they can do.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
Mark.
All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. Yeah, we're just do two. Tomorrow we'll have Cooper.